Give me an overview of the album. What can we expect?
So at the moment, Jez, so where we are at the moment with the album, I'm kind of like in the girl kind of dating love phase of my album. I guess with like, you know, girls like not letting go. It's all kind of like relationships throughout my youth.
Yeah.
And then obviously before the album comes out, hopefully, I'm hoping that we can go into the next phase or the next segment of the album. But once the album is out, it will all kind of make a lot more sense. I've tried my best to like conceptualize everything and basically tell the tale of what it was like for me to grow up in Southeast London, trying to make it and do what I'm doing now, basically.
And that was a conscious...
Yeah, and
you really wanted to do that.
Yeah, and that was I really wanted to do that. Usually when I think of the album titles, I think of them before I make any of the music. It's weird. So like with Discovery, it just came. Yeah. Demonstration, the same thing. Now Youth, and then I kind of tell the story based around the title. So yeah, it took a long time. It's like been 2 years while I've been making this album, and like I said earlier, Not Letting Go was in 2015. Do you get what I'm saying? That was like the first song off of it. So the next bit will be a lot different, but yeah, I can't wait for you guys to hear it. It will make so much more sense once
it'll come together.
Yeah.
You just said about recording the album. Now, when an artist is like of your level, normally they're like jetting off to Miami, a studio in Hollywood, I don't know, all these glamorous places. You kept it. I hate this phrase, but you kept it real. Yeah. Like really real. Yeah. Where did you record this album?
So I recorded it in South London. I'm not going to lie, because there's going to be some footage that's going to come out that's probably going to blow me up. But no, so basically this is how it works. We have this studio in Greenwich, Southeast London. It's been there since about 2008. So I made Written in the Stars there. I've made loads of my records there. And basically we start the process in Greenwich. Then we kind of went around the world a little bit. So I've even dropped this series on YouTube called How to Make an Album. I'm on episode 2. I drop them every week, every 2 weeks leading up to the album. And we did a segment in Sweden. We did a segment in Ibiza while I was doing the whole Disturb and Ibiza thing. We did a segment in LA, and then we did a segment in London as well. So I went all around the world with my mates. We soaked up all these vibes. Amsterdam as well.
Partied.
Soaked up, partied.
Don't neglect the party bit. Come on, it wasn't just work.
Yeah, because that inspires the music. Who we kidding? Who we kidding? I mean, I like to make people feel happy in my music, so I have to party. There we go. Right, so I did all of that, and then we came back to Greenwich, Southeast London, and started finishing up. And then the guy who mixes my album is a guy called Wes Clark. And he mixes loads of the biggest artists in the world. But his studio is in Borough, which is still in Southeast London as well. So throughout Southeast, we've just been finishing the record, and it's got to that stage now where it's really exciting now. I just can't wait for people to hear it.
We better talk about these 2 singles you've dropped.
Yes.
What's the reason for doing 2?
So the reason for doing 2 is because I've always wanted to do 2. I've always wanted to release 2 just to give people a little bit of a broader scope of what my album might sound like. It's weird. It's like loads of my favorite artists that I listen to now, whenever they release a song, it's not just one big song and all this promo around it. It's usually like 3 or 4 songs. You listen to them, and kind of over the year, you kind of, your favourite one just surfaces.
Yeah, I get you. Rather than sort of forcing just one.
Exactly. And to be quite honest with you, I've always believed that it's been quite a thing of like a new age artist. So because I'm an artist that's come from the internet, like I've always wanted to play in that way, as opposed to just because I've signed a record deal, I have to now come with this one big song.
That's how it's done.
Yeah, because that's how it's done. I've always wanted to play in the way of the internet. I'm the guy who was doing the blog and doing all of that kind of stuff.
Sugars back in the day.
You know, Jez, you know. So for me, I always wanted to just release 2 singles, and I'm happy that I had the opportunity to do that now.
So Tinie Tempah is here on Capital Extra. We're going to talk about Text from Your Ex.
Yes.
With Tinashe.
Yes, with Tinashe.
I was like, hello.
Yeah, man. Like, I've always wanted to work with her. Since she made 2 On, I've always wanted to work with her.
What was it like working with her?
It was good. To be honest with you, like, we've met each other a few times, but we didn't work in the studio this time. She was in New York when she did it, and like I said, I was in Greenwich. So we were on the phone, we FaceTimed as well while she was doing the takes and stuff like that. Technology is a beautiful thing. in this day and age, guys. And then, yeah, we took it to the studio, mixed it, and she loved it. But yeah, so I'm very excited about that.
And again, it kind of, what you're saying about the album of the journey, you know, the relationship thing, text from you, it kind of says what it does.
Yeah, yeah. At the end of the day, it's like, I'm 28. I'm essentially a young man who's grown up in Southeast London, you know, from a council estate, you know, to wherever I am now in my life. And I've been through all the motions, everything. And I just feel like it's weird. I don't know how to explain it. Like now, in England, when I first started like rapping, there was loads of rappers that I looked up to, but it wasn't really like a thing for like rap to be on the radio or for rappers to do interviews like we're doing now, or on the covers of things or anything like that. And so I think the reality of it is that there is a kind of like a British history, like in the same way that you can say there's a hip-hop history, there's a British history of the likes of the Dizzies and the Kanos, and they all have very relevant, powerful stories, you know, because they've come from certain environments and been able to, you know, achieve what they've achieved. And so I feel like it was very important at my stage of my career that I'm in now to try and tell my story like in one album, but just to obviously make it fun and to obviously add all the fun elements about my life as well. And that's what youth is, basically.